Hello, I'm David Dipple. I'll be the instructor for this Math 1316 Trig class. The easiest way to get a hold of me is via email, and my email address is davidadipple@lonestar.edu. The homework assignments will be worked in webassign.net, and if you just go to webassign, log in, you can get, I believe, a 2-week free trial period and then pay for it after that gets going. Okay, we're going to begin with Chapter 1, Section 1, Angles, Degrees, and Triangles. When you're looking at angles, first of all, we need to think about acute angles, which are less than 90, right angles, which are equal to 90, and obtuse angles, which are greater than 90 degrees. An example of each of these is an acute angle. If you're drawing an angle and it's less than 90, think about the edge of a sheet of paper, that's 90. So less than 90 is going to be like this. A right angle is equal to 90, and we usually put a little square in the corner indicating it as a right angle. And then obtuse is an angle that's bigger than 90, that's less than straight though. There's a straight angle. Now once you have those down, if you combine two angles together, complementary angles add up to 90 degrees, and supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So an example of this was if you have 40 degrees and you want the complement of that, the complement has to add up to 90, so that's going to be 50. 40 and 50 are complementary because they add up to 90 degrees. Now if you take that same 40-degree angle and you want supplementary have to add up to 180. So 140 plus 40 makes 180. So 40 and 140 are supplementary. 40 and 50 are complementary. Now when you start, if you look at these 48 degrees, 127 degrees, and 90 degrees, if you look at the 48 degrees, okay, that's going to be acute because it's less than 90. Its complement, you take 90 minus 48. And for the supplement, you take 180 minus the 48. And when you do that, you will get an acute angle. Its complement is 42 because that adds up to 90, and its supplement is 132. Okay, do the same thing for 127. It's an obtuse angle because it's greater than 90. There is no complement because you can't add anything and get 90. And the supplement is 53 because 53 and 127 add up to 180. Now 90 is kind of a special case because 90 is a right angle. Its complement, 90 minus 90, makes 0. And its supplement, 180 minus 90, makes 90. So it's a right angle. It has a complement of 0 and a supplement of 90. Right, 0 and 90. Okay, there are some special situations with triangles. Whenever you're dealing with triangles, we usually put capital letters in the corners and the vertices. We put Greek letters at times in the angles. So you can either use capital letters or Greek letters. And then the sides that correspond to each of the angles are in lowercase. So if you have side A, it's going to be opposite angle A. Angle B, side B. They're always opposite each other. And then C goes over here to C. So those match up. Now, Pythagorean theorem works anytime you have a right triangle. the short side squared plus the middle side squared equals the longest side, or using the letters we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared as long as c is the longest side. Now there are two special triangles we need to deal with. That's the 30-60 and the 45-45. Now with the 30-60 you need to remember that 30 is the short angle, so x is the shortest side. 90 is the biggest angle, so you double it, 2x, and 60 is kind of in the middle, so you put a square root of 3 there, x squared of 3. Now with the 45, these are the same, x and x, because the angles are the same. Then, to get the hypotenuse, you put the square root of 2 next to it. So if you have x, you get x squared of 2 for the hypotenuse of a 45-45. Okay, if we'll go through and work each one of these. Okay, the first one, you take 5 squared, 12 squared, that's 25, that's 144. Add those up, you get 169. When you square root that, you'll get 13. Now with 42, here's 90, so you take 90 minus the 42, and you come up with 48. And on this one, since we're going backwards, we get rid of the square root of 3, so this is going to be 5. Then you double it, and you get 10. So this is going to be 5 square root of 3, get rid of the radical, you get 5. Doubled, you get 10. So you get 5, and you get 10, 13, and 48. Now, for the bottom ones, same type of situation. If you have a 4 and you're getting smaller, you take 4 and you divide by the square root of 3. Then you double it, and you get 8 divided by the square root of 3. Now, with WebAssign, they may ask you to rationalize that, or they may not. The next one, again, we have a 45. We're getting bigger, so it's the side 4 with the square root of 2. Then we have 3. We're getting smaller, 3, and remove the square root of 2, so it's divided by the square root of 2. So when you're getting smaller, you divide. When you're getting bigger, you multiply. And that's all of those. Okay, finding x and y. If you look at these, first of all, look at the triangles to find x. Since you have a 90-degree triangle, if you'll first look at those, the left two, you know that 8x and 1x have to add up to 90 because that's all that's missing in your triangle. So 8x plus 1x equals 90. If you combine the 8 and the 1, it makes 9x. When you divide, you get x is 10. And so 8x is 80. So those are your two angles. Okay, we now have, so x was 10, and 8x is 80, and so this is, since x is 10, we now have the 10 plus y. Now, if we look at the other triangle, and you put those together, the 3y and the x plus y, then you get x plus y plus 3y. The x plus y and the 3y have to combine to 90 again. So if you substitute x is now 10, and y and 3y is 4y, if you'll subtract the 10, 4y is equal to 80, divide, y is 20. So then you can figure out the parts that are missing. This is 10. So that's what x was. Y was 20. So this is 30 down here in the bottom. And 3 times 20 is 60. So that's all the different types of problems you will see in WebAssign for the first section.